Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 Godzilla sequel, Godzilla King of the Monsters, a film that is directed and written by Michael Dougherty, and it stars Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga and Millie Bobby Brown, as well as some other familiar faces you will recognise from the Gareth Edwards Godzilla film from a few years ago. Now, this is a film that came out earlier this year, and I didn't really have an awful lot of interest in going to watch. And that's mainly because I just wasn't a fan of the Gareth Edwards Godzilla film. I found that film really frustrating to watch. I found the characters bland, apart from Bryan Cranston's character, and then he was killed off way too early. And then when you actually got to the cool bits with Godzilla, you couldn't see what was going on. It was really frustrating to watch for me, that film, and I just couldn't get on with it. So I didn't really have an awful lot of excitement for this film. Well, I finally managed to get around to watching this film now. And what is this film about? Well, it follows directly on from the Godzilla film. The world is coming to terms with these new titans. Some want to destroy them, some want to nurture them, some want to coexist. And Monarch, the company that we were introduced to in the Godzilla and especially the Kong film, which is a continuation of this new monster universe, as the next Godzilla film is obviously Godzilla vs Kong. So Monarch, who we've been introduced to previously in these films, are cataloguing like all these creatures around the planet, and some want them destroyed, etc. However, there are some environmental terrorists, shall we say, who want to release these creatures, as there is evidence to suggest that when they are unleashed on the Earth, it replenishes the Earth's environment. And so forth. So there are environmental terrorists out there that want to release these creatures, and unfortunately for mankind, they unwittingly release Godzilla's biggest nemesis, this huge three-headed titan, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, onto the world, who then commands all these other titans, and Godzilla has to come back and save our asses again, as he did in the last film. Must be getting bored of that already. And that's essentially what this film is about. Big monsters battling each other. That's an even simpler way of saying it, I suppose. Now, I saw quite a few reviews of this film when it was released, and almost universally they're all kind of, yeah, the effects are brilliant, the monster battles are really great and fantastic to watch. It's just the talky human bits are a bit naff. And I couldn't agree more, really. They're absolutely on the nose with it. The characters here, again, are bland for the most part. Charles Dance plays a typical baddie. Millie Bobby Brown, tragically, is so underused, really, in this film. It has nothing to do for the most part. Kyle Chandler and Vera Farmiga, again, underwritten. Terribly written characters that aren't interesting to watch. The human, the talky bit, you understand why they have to do it. They have to write in like a human story here, but it simply put, it drags the film down. It drags the excitement levels down, because boy, when Godzilla's on screen, and I can't give that argument now that you can't see what's going on, because you can. They've really, you can see everything in this film for the most part. Even when it's at night, it's full on, you can see it all. The effects are just breathtaking. Godzilla's never looked better. Truly fantastic effects. The battles really nailed it for me, between these huge titans. I really loved that part of the film. I can't emphasise that enough. And I didn't hate like the story. It just felt forced. Some of these plot devices, like there's this orca device that Vera Farmiga invents that transmits this signal to the titans that can talk to them, control them, something like that. And it was just like, oh, really? Is that what you've got? Is that the best you've got? And you know, it just seemed forced, some of these plot elements. There's a couple that I think was necessary to show this connection between mankind and Godzilla and his need to protect the planet, and how, and there's a sequence in this one where we help him because he's injured. That kind of made sense. Yeah, focus on that side of it. But the human dramas that they give us in this film were just a bit uninspired and naff, to say the least. And it just made you want more of the Titans when you saw the human storytelling going on. You just wanted to see more of Godzilla and these other Titans because they were so fantastically designed and the effects were so incredible. You just wanted to see more of them on screen. So in my mind, this improves on the first Godzilla in almost every single way. I really enjoyed Kong, the second one, you could argue, in this universe, which, well, it is. I thought that was a really fun film, and I think they took on board some of the criticisms from Godzilla by some audience members, and I think they've expanded and flourished again with this one. I just think they need to develop more interesting characters if they're going to move this franchise forward. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I feel I'm being a little bit generous there, but I was really entertained for the most part with this film. And it's one I kind of regret not seeing in the cinema, if I'm honest, because them huge Titan battle scenes would have looked spectacular on a cinema screen, I have no doubt. So that is my review for Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I hope you found the review useful. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and of course I'll see you next time for more reviews on Screen Stars.